Hello everyone, John here, and I am in a good mood. I have been for the entire weekend, because on Saturday I got to attend the London Sonic Symphony. I went to the evening showing, there was also one at like 3 p.m. I believe, and this will be touring the world real soon. I know Ash is going to one in the States, so is Brandon, so you may run into them if you're planning to go. And if you're umming and ahhing on like, oh, should I do this? Yeah, this was probably my favourite live music experience ever. And I've been to plenty of, non-video game music shows. I've been to video game music shows like the Zelda Symphony. But this one really blew everything out of the water. And I think what really set it apart was just the broad spectrum of why we were all there. Obviously, we're all there because we're Sonic fans, but this is celebrating like 30 years of Sonic. There are people who are there for the classics, people who are there for the Dreamcast era, people who are there for stuff like Frontiers. And it was just a joy to get to know everybody. I don't often do very many in-person expos, because there aren't really that many in the UK. But I got to meet some GVG fans here too. We got a little get-together, took some pictures with some people, and it was just so nice to put a face to some of these profile pictures, because I see your comments, I see your profile pictures, but I don't know, I don't see beyond the screen. You can see me, I can't see you. So it's just nice to get to talk to some of you guys in person, and you're all lovely. And that's the takeaway for everything. You may have an impression of Sonic fans from what you've seen on the internet, but in person, I think once the anonymous nature is taken away, you're just left with people wanting to celebrate what they love, which is sometimes what the internet doesn't embrace. So instead of us complaining about the size of Sonic's quills, we're instead like, I grew up with Sonic Adventure, and hearing the music meant so much to me. That's the sort of thing you hear. Everyone's just there to be in the moment. And no one is like, you like Unleashed? Get out of here! Like, we're all just like, yeah, awesome. So do I. It's just such a nice event to be at. And it wasn't just the fans. It was the people responsible for the music too. And I got something very special for me. So the Dreamcast was my first home console, and one of my first home console games was Sonic Adventure. And so to have Jun Sonoy sign both Adventure 2 and Adventure 1 for me is unspeakably incredible. His music, it kind of defines a lot of my childhood. And I'm going to display these in somewhere on the backdrop. They'll always be there. But yeah, it wasn't just signing though. Like, getting to talk to him was great. He was so down to earth. I gave him a pen, which didn't work, and he went out of his way to find somebody who had a Sharpie on them. And when I was on the train home, I was going home alone, but I noticed someone in a Dr. Robotnik costume. So I thought, this could be a friend. And then someone else joined us. And the other guy was telling me about how, at a previous event, June had some handlers who were like, just one thing signed per person. But his friend came up with like 5 things to sign. And his handlers were like, no way, buddy. But while they weren't looking, June was like, come on, give me your 5. I'll sign all of them. And just quickly signed them all. And then went on his way. He was so cool to me. What cool people. Both the performers and the fans, they were just incredible. So yeah, I think you should attend for that alone, just the atmosphere. However, the actual performances were stunning. If you watch the 30th anniversary live stream, much of that is what this is based off. So many compositions will be similar. However, there's stuff here that wasn't in there, and there's also some stuff that was in that live stream that isn't here. So the Saturn medley is gone, sadly. No Knights, there's no Sonic R, but there is some brand new stuff that came out after that live stream. So Sonic Frontiers is here. There's a medley and some vocal performances as well. So the first act is very orchestrated. There's no singers, there's no guitars. It's all just, violins and the like. And it was so beautiful. Just hearing all these tracks, which are usually performed in like 16-bit, hearing them brought to life with a full-on orchestra, with so many talented musicians on stage, doing it all justice was breathtaking. And they really know what makes them special. Like, you can feel that they know what they're performing. But also the edit on screen, which, by the way, is different to what was in the 30th anniversary one, because it was recorded with Origins, which wasn't out during that anniversary, or at least by that performance. Even the Game Gear stuff was recorded from Origins Plus. But they lean into the lesser parts of the games too. So during the Sonic 1 medley, when it got to Labyrinth Zone, whenever they needed footage to match the music, it would be like all the cheap parts of that level. It'd be Sonic just jumping and hitting spikes that you can't see. It'd be enemies coming out of nowhere. It just caused a laugh with every beat. People were really into it. And I loved a lot of it. It was like the Sonic 1 medley, Sonic CD medley, Sonic 2 medley, Sonic 3 medley. Actually, I think Sonic 3 just had Sky Sanctuary. There was Sonic Mania, which, my man, T-Lopes composes our intro song, by the way. hearing T's music performed live in front of me, that man can do no wrong. That man is... Protect T by all costs. He's done Sonic, he's done Turtles, he's doing the successor by the Sonic Mania team, he's doing Metal Slug Tactics. T, it was so cool seeing your stuff perform live. And then when we sort of exited the classic era, they started performing some stuff live via the orchestra, and it was beautiful hearing fully orchestrated versions of Believe in Myself and It Doesn't Matter from Sonic Adventure. They were both so full of soul. And then it got to stuff that wasn't in the previous one. So, the new stuff, Rooftop Run, was performed live by the orchestra. And, oh baby, it was good. It was so good. And then we got some Sonic Colors stuff in there too. There was Aquarium Park, and there was also Planet Wisp. You couldn't have chosen two better tracks to orchestrate. They were both absolutely stunning. And then the Sonic Frontiers medley. So it started off with the sort of field theme, just like very atmospheric, very slow, very a build. But then it got to 1-2, which is usually a vocal sort of techno-y track. But to hear it with such elegance and bombacity was stunning. When we got to the second act, though, the whole lighting changed. It went red. Some guitarists came on stage. A drummer, who was, by the way, a GVG patron. He messaged me during the show, like, John, I didn't know you were here. Let's meet up. And it was a joy to meet you, by the way. You were stunning. So the lighting went red. Some guitarist, a drummer came out. A vocalist came out. Who, by the way, this guy's range is off the charts. He performed every vocal song for pretty much every mainline Sonic game here. And he managed to match the style of every vocalist that Sonic's ever had somehow. From the brighter stuff like Colors to the heavy stuff like Frontiers. He didn't miss a beat. He was crazy good. But yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog is what I think gave the most energy of all. So the lighting went red. The crowd was so into it. And everyone was just singing along with I Am All of Me. And people sang along for everything, with every single song, but certain ones definitely had more of a presence to them. And to be honest, I think it was the lesser respected games that had more energy behind them. I Am All of Me had the crowd going nuts. But also, so did His World from Sonic 06. So did Fist Bump from Sonic Forces. Like, listen to this. So in terms of what they performed live, it was I Am All of Me. It was What I'm Made Of, which is, I think, is the most underrated Crush 40 track from Sonic Heroes. It was just so good. Open Your Heart, Night of the Wind, Escape from the City, His World, Reach for the Stars, Fist Bump, Endless Possibilities from Unleashed. They were all outstanding. And I think the vocalist did more honor to Reach for the Stars, to be honest, in my opinion at least, than the original version. Like, I like Cash Cash, but I think his performance really gave an extra mile. And I hope this vocalist sticks around for actual Sonic games, because he can do it. But once that was over, there was an encore with 3 extra tracks. Breakthrough It All from Sonic Frontiers was such a drastic change in style, because it's a heavy track. So far, we've been performing these elegant renditions of classic music. We've been doing, more sort of butt rocky stuff from the 2000s, but now we're getting like heavy metal-y. And again, the vocalist does not miss a beat, and everyone's so into it too. But then we got something very special as well. We had the world premiere of the Sonic Superstars theme performed live by the orchestra, and it's hard to really get an appreciation for it, because we haven't heard the track in itself. We don't really know what they're reconstructing here, but I liked it. It sounded good. It sounded like a mix of sort of, I guess, classic and modern, like classic and adventure maybe. And then finally they closed out with what was easily the biggest crowd pleaser, "Live and Learn." Just watch. I sincerely hope that they know how much people love adventure, because it was made so crystal clear in this show. Every time there was a Dreamcast-era song, people stood, they applauded. Everyone I spoke to, I mean, there were some classic fans, but the majority of people I spoke to were adventure fans. They were like, I need Adventure 3, I need the Chow Garden back, I need a remake. I hope just talking and seeing the fans, they are aware of that. I saw Jun Sonoy was signing like Adventure 2 vinyls, like much like me, people had their adventure boxes. I think they know how much we love adventure, and if they don't, then they should by the energy of whenever an adventure song came on. But yeah, Live and Learn live was, I don't even know how to describe it. It just lifted my spirits. What a cool event. So again, if you haven't booked your tickets now, I would go ahead and do it. It was just lovely. It was great to meet people. It was great to have my childhood just played in front of me like that. And it just sort of reminded me of why I love Sonic so much. Because, yeah, I can go back and play the games that I love and still remember why I love them so much. But, of course, every now and then there's a game that's like, oh, this is so disappointing. What does the future have for us? But then you just have events like this where it's all just put to the back of your mind. Sonic always, even if the games don't always land, the music always does. And yeah, I'm so glad that I attended this. And in the future, I will attend more expos and stuff just to meet some of you guys, because it was a joy. It was a joy just to see you all. So if you were there and I missed you, I am so sorry. Hopefully we can see each other at another event. But if I did see you, I know you in particular were wonderful, because I didn't meet a single bad person there. They were all just so happy, and they're just there to celebrate. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up now. So thank you for watching, everybody, and I hope that you enjoy the show if you're going in the near future. And if not, go back and watch the 30th Anniversary Symphony, because that was also very good, but it doesn't quite match how good this one was. One of my favorite music shows of all time. See you later. Bye.